I feel the need for speed. Woohoo! And it's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, today we're going to look at Necron Aircraft Tactics, in particular the Night Scythe in 9th edition. Now, we've already talked about the Doom Scythe in a previous video, but the Night Scythe has had quite a big change in 9th edition. On paper, this change seems to be very good. The invasion special rule has gone, and this Necron aircraft has picked up the transport keyword. And that means you no longer have to put a unit on the tomb world, potentially killing them if you can't get the unit on the table. Now they literally go inside the Night Scythe. And they can transport up to 20 miniatures as long as they are Dynasty Core Infantry, Dynasty Character Infantry or Dynastic Agent Infantry. Now, just like the Doom Scythe, the Night Scythe has reduced in its movement. It's still very fast though, and of course the tables are much smaller. It has the improved twin Tesla gun with a better range and more shots, although a slight nerf on the Tesla special rule, but it's still very good. And now we have command protocols. All good so far. All good so far. Oh wow, that is the playground that I used to play in when I was a kid, many years ago. This brings back memories. Swings, used to love the swings. Someone's mowing the lawn. Pretty windy. I'm really going to be testing out that windjammer. However, the Night Scythe is still only toughness 6 with 12 wounds and a 3+ save. And whilst it has the hard to hit special rule, it only has living metal, no quantum shielding. This aircraft is very fragile and very susceptible to being shot off the board in one turn. And with the same point cost as a Ghost Ark, which does have quantum shielding, you can see why this transport is easily dismissed. The Ghost Ark is great for moving up, taking midfield objectives, and then the next turn getting your warriors out and just blasting your opponent for as many turns as you can with all of the Gauss weapons. And whilst in theory the Night Scythe can do the same, except it can move further and get closer to your enemy, the Night Scythe itself can't take objectives, so it just becomes a flying gun. It can transport 20 warriors though, as opposed to 10, and it can transport other units, like Lichguard. And if you want to learn about Necrons and more, then please subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss an upload. So, like I said, the Night Scythe is very fragile. It's unlikely to survive a round of shooting if you don't go first. And even if you do go first, well, you have to move and then wait a whole turn before you can get your unit out. And yes, of course, your unit will be in position if your Night Scythe does get destroyed. They obviously can come out of the Night Scythe, assuming they're not also shot out in that turn as well. So, we are going to have to find other ways to take advantage of this Night Scythe, and the only real way to do that is to put it into strategic reserve. You could deploy your Night Scythe maybe right in the corner, and then on your turn 1 just fly off of the board, putting it into tactical reserve, ready to come on in turn 2. But you still have to weather a round of shooting if you don't get first turn, unless you can totally hide that Night Scythe. So you are going to have to fully commit and use command points to put these into reserve, unless of course you're using the Deceiver, where you can redeploy them into reserve for free. Don't you just love grand illusion? Goodbye, Park. Goodbye, Lord Noah Man. I miss you. So your Night Scythe is safe from that fragile issue of being shot down in turn 1. However, you can't disembark your unit on the turn that you move. And even though we have the aircraft special rule allowing us to deep strike in more than 9 inches away from our enemy rather than the 6 inches from the board edge, we still have the issue we can't disembark our unit until the next turn. So I think the best thing to do is not put your unit inside the Night Scythe at all. In steps the Prismatic Dimensional Breach stratagem. For just 1 CP, this stratagem allows you to take a unit from tactical reserve and deploy it wholly within 3 inches of your Night Scythe. You use it in the reinforcement step of the movement phase. That comes after moving. So in the movement phase of turn 2, you bring your Night Scythe in from reserve. You then play the stratagem in the reinforcement step, allowing you to bring another unit from tactical reserve within 3 inches of your Night Scythe. So the Night Scythe has been protected and your unit is able to get into position on turn 2 or 3 if you wish, enabling it to do its business. Is that flare? That is flare. No way. Flare right on my face. Imagine 20 warriors with Reapers deploying in your opponent's face. Pretty nasty. However, you could do that using the Veil of Darkness. I'm thinking that Lich Guard with Warsize would be the best option to team up with your Night Scythe. We deep strike our Night Scythe just over 9 inches away from our enemy. We then bring in our large unit of Warsize Lich Guard within 3 inches of that Night Scythe. We now have a 6-inch charge range. Make them Novok and you get +1 to your charge range, a 5-inch charge. Use the Blood Rites stratagem and you also get +1 attack. And all of a sudden, our Night Scythe allows us to be very aggressive on the table, getting those Lich Guard where we want them to be, either on turn 2 or turn 3, depending on the table. Boy, do I wish that Flayed Ones were core. Oh boy, do I wish Flayed Ones were core. Did I say that already? Who cares? I really do wish it. Now of course you could load up another unit in the Night Scythe as well for them to come out on turn 3. However, that's an even bigger investment in points, CPs and units which potentially could be elsewhere on the table taking mission objectives. And let's face it, mission objectives is the key thing to winning 9th edition games. If you did want to use this tactic and have more in that area, I would suggest using a Veil of Darkness instead, teleporting over a buffing character with 20 warriors in that general direction. That will be a lot for your opponent to deal with. And don't forget you can assault after the Veil of Darkness, and Novok warriors, they love to assault. As always with these things, it takes an investment of points and CPs to make it happen. However, the Night Scythe is definitely an option now. Now, if you want to learn all about the Doom Scythe, then that's the video for you. And if you want to learn how to paint the Night Scythe stroke Doom Scythe, then that will be the video for you to watch just there.